We were trying to figure out how I was going to get all this molding cut. And I said a little prayer. I was like, I need to find somebody who will allow me to come into their shop and help me get the molding cut. And little did I know that it was going to happen, and that it was going to be one of my neighbors, and it was going to happen because of the flood.
Still trapped in their homes in Cheatham County. They made the stop here yesterday.
On May 1st, 2010, I began the construction of what was to be my first mixed media photography show, Angels Among Us. This is a story about my angels, the angels that came out of the flood, the great flood of 2010. This storm would change my life and my art forever.
You know, it was amazing. My assistant came over to help me. She spent the night Friday night, and I have so much work to do to get ready for my show on June 3rd. And it's Saturday, it's Derby Day, and we have a party that we're going to stop and go to and take a break. And then I decided, you know what, I'm on a roll, let's just keep working. So she's going to go get some hamburgers down at the country store. She leaves, she comes back 3 minutes later, and I'm like, well, that was quick. And she said, the roads are blocked by water. So it just keeps raining and raining and raining. And the next thing you know, we've got our own private waterfall in the driveway coming over from the hills. So on Sunday, the electricity goes out. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is great. And it keeps raining. And then once it stopped raining, we went down to the bottom of the road, which is about a half a mile down the road. And then we got to see the floodwaters. The floodwaters were over the stop sign. But the really good thing that came out of it was that I got to meet my neighbors. Monday, we come back down to the floodwaters. And it has now overtaken the first house. And now it is about 3 feet into the second house up the road. One of the neighbors that I met, his nickname is Moose. He had a shop, and I asked him if there was any way, could you help me with my art show? And so we started cutting. I have all these leftover pieces of frame molding. And so what we did is we started cutting all these pieces. I mean, nothing, I had this vision that I wanted to take all these different pieces and somehow make them a piece of artwork. And then I decided to take all this old framing and age it to complement these angels that are about 150 to maybe 200 years old. So the art project started to take on a life of its own. And so while we were working in his shop, some of the neighbors would come to see what we were doing because we didn't have anything to do. We were actually stuck here for 8 days. We had no electricity, no running water. I had no cable to know what was going on out in the world. We had no landline, no cell phones, no internet. So all I could think of was that I have got to get my artwork done. So what happens now is I'm going to put the white paint over the glaze. And you can't, like I said, you can't brush it more than once because the glaze immediately starts to come up. It kind of looks like hell a little bit, but it won't be in the end because the angels are really going to make it look beautiful. Many of the angels, I believe, were sculpted in Italy and then brought over to the United States. Many of my angels are from New Hampshire, Rochester, New York, New Orleans, Nashville. Nashville's got some really beautiful Art Deco angels. Boston. And I found a wonderful cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. A lot of dead presidents there. a lot of angels.
So tell me all the names.
Okay, so we have, I am sustained by the blessings of me. I claim the passion present in my life. Synchronicity guides my truth. In the moment of living, wisdom unfolds. That's my favorite. With deepening love, I walk in service. I recognize the beauty and harmony of me. And lastly, love emerges within me. Every day that I drive by my neighbor's house to see what is happening, my heart goes out to their displacement. I do believe there are many gifts on the other side of loss. You just have to open your arms and get ready to receive. My name is Carla Christina Contreras, and I am an artist.